What's up everyone, Darcblade here, bringing you the next in my series of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer class guides. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favourite classes, the Human Infiltrator. I must say I started playing the Infiltrator as my first class choice back in Mass Effect 1. But anyway, the Infiltrator is a huge damage dealing class, and if played right, is probably one of the best classes out there. Although maybe the other alien classes are better, the human one is still quite good. Now, the Human Infiltrator, I feel, can be played one or two ways. It can be played as either a close-ranged assassin type character, where you take your tactical cloak, allow you to use a second power, max out Cryo Blast, so you can do a little bit of crowd control before you pop out and put shotgun blasts into someone. Sticky grenades are optional, but I prefer to go with the build I have here. Like I said, choose a decent shotgun. I normally go with the Geth plasma shotgun. As for fitness and health, that is down to preference again. I personally go for fitness, as with the close combat class you seem to take a lot more. Well, you put yourself in danger more, put it that way. The sniper class is the second build, and probably my favourite build for the Infiltrator. Again, max out tactical cloak, but instead of using in the second power, maybe go for sniper rifle damage. I also chose to put more points into sticky grenades because I felt they were more useful for this build than the Cryo Blast. I still kept a few points in Cryo Blast for emergency close range situations, but with having sniper rifle damage instead of using a second power, I found that the sticky grenades were more useful. Also with this build, your sniper rifle is very important. Choosing a high-powered sniper rifle or a high-level sniper rifle is key to success with this class, I find. I personally like the Javelin and the Widow, but unfortunately I haven't unlocked what I probably consider the best, the Black Widow. Anyway, moving on to the basic abilities of the Human Infiltrator. The first ability, and probably the key to both builds in the Human Infiltrator class, Tactical Cloak. This is a ability that cloaks you. Makes you invisible to almost anyone. Although enemies who do see you cloak will continue to shoot at you, you can pretty much get yourself out of any trouble situation with this tactical cloak. Another thing about tactical cloak is that it increases damage whilst you're in cloak of your weapon. It also increases damage for a few seconds after coming out of cloak. So this is good for many forms of weaponry. For the sniper rifle, fire it once you're in cloaked, and you'll get the most damage out of your shot. And with the shotgun, keep firing after a few seconds after you come out, and you'll still get the same damage as if you were cloaked. A tip I can give with the tactical cloak and certain weapons that require a charge up is to charge them up before activating your cloak. Otherwise, you will break the cloak. This is okay if you can charge up the weapon and fire it off in time, but you have to be a judge of this yourself. So, the next ability the Human Infiltrator has is Cryo Blast. This is a ball of ice that goes flying towards the enemy, similar to Incinerate in some respects, but just an ice version of it. Now, the key elements of Cryo Blast are the following. It can slow opponents' movement speed, it can freeze targets completely, and it can cause cryo explosions. Cryo explosions, for you who don't know, are like a tech combo ability, where you freeze them, and if they die from a biotic or other tech move, they will explode. Unfortunately, the Human Infiltrator hasn't got anything to activate this explosion, so I personally don't max out Cryo Blast for that reason. I max it out for CC, but this is only with the close combat Infiltrator build. The downside about Cryo Explosion is that it's like Fire Explosion, where the target actually has to die from the tech combo. I failed to mention a minute ago that Cryo Blast can also weaken armor. It can be spec'd for this, increasing damage to armored opponents. Cryo Blast overall is a good move in that, but for my sniper build, I feel I can do far much more damage with my sniper rifle and grenades than I can with any substantial points put into Cryo Blast. I will still take a little bit of Cryo Blast because it's good for emergency moves once you're being overrun and you need a quick escape route and you don't want fast opponents following you. The third and final ability of the Human Infiltrator is Sticky Grenade. This is a grenade, a sticky grenade. Need I say more? You throw it, it sticks to many surfaces including opponents, and explodes. This can be quite helpful when there are large groups of enemies clustered together. I tend to use sticky grenades more with my sniper infiltrator, as I tend to throw a grenade quite often, especially at targets that are quite hard after I've fired a single shot. Of course, if I was using semi-automatic sniper rifles, I might not use this as much, but as I prefer the bolt action sniper rifles, I tend to fire a bolt, throw a grenade, then back off. This, of course, is all situational and requires a little bit of personal judgment. The sticky grenade seems to be best when, like I said, there is a large cluster of people, or maybe you need to finish off that enemy and you need that little bit extra to bring them down quick, rather than having to wait for the reload of your sniper rifle. Or if you just want to lend some support to your teammates and lob a grenade over their heads at the target they're firing at because they're in the way. With sticky grenades, I tend to spec for actual damage, especially damage against armoured opponents. I don't go for necessarily the max amount of grenades, as I find that in the harder difficulties you don't always replenish all the grenades every time you restock on ammunition at the ammo boxes, so I would rather have maximum damage if I can constantly replenish my grenade supply. So they are the basic 3 power moves that the Human Infiltrator gets in multiplayer. Of course, when it comes to alliance training and fitness, I do personally feel you should probably max out both of these for the Human Infiltrator. The Human Infiltrator is really good at dealing damage. It's a really high damage dealing class, so maxing out alliance training will help increase your damage output. Weapon damage is a must, as it is a weapon reliant class. It's a cross between a tech user and a combat class. Now, as for fitness, again, I do say this is down to personal preference. If you're able to move and stay alive, you don't necessarily have to max it out, but I do feel that in both classes it's good to have that little bit of extra health to allow you to survive in gold and silver modes. I tend to use the Infiltrator a lot in gold modes, so I always go for health and shields maxed out as much as possible. I also feel this is more vital for the close combat build Infiltrator, as unlike the sniper build, you tend to be putting yourself in harm's way a lot more often. Now, I find that the Human Infiltrator has 3 major things going for it. Firstly, its high damage capability. It can provide cover support and really bring down opponents fast. The second is that it's able to revive fallen comrades without drawing attention thanks to the tactical cloak. And the third is similar to the reviving of your teammates, is that it can hack computers and get data terminals quicker and without drawing attention thanks to the tactical cloak. This makes them a great team asset. Now, I mentioned earlier that the Human Infiltrator was reliant on weapons, so picking the right weapon for you is key to success. I personally think that the Black Widow is the best sniper rifle if you like to use sniper rifles out there, the Javelin and Widow being close second, or level 10 Mantis maybe. For the shotguns, the shotgun wielder, I think the Geth plasma shotgun is the best out there. I may be wrong because I don't often play this shotgun class, but this is my opinion at the moment. So summarising, the Human Infiltrator is a great damage dealing class. It also can support the team in many objectives and fulfill a medic role without drawing too much attention. The tactical cloak is a wonderful move for this class. Speccing a little bit into Cryo Blast allows you an emergency getaway move if need be, and going deeper into it can provide the team with crowd control. And lastly, Sticky Grenade. Nothing too much to say about that, it just provides you with a little bit of extra damage if need be. So the Human Infiltrator, a really powerful class, maybe one of the best. A great team asset to anyone trying the harder difficulties too. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like for more.